This is going to be a demo on opening a part to access the Sketerworkbench. You must first have completed this exercise here where you're setting the key preferences. And if something doesn't match up, it's because the key preferences wasn't completed correctly. Alright, so assuming that you've set up your key preferences already in the previous exercise, we'll now attempt to open a new model in a part design workbench, also known as applications, so that we can set up the specification tree to allow us to access the sketch. So step one is going to be to access CATIA. You should have gotten an email from Dassault Systems that will allow you to click on sign in here or something similar to that. It may say getting started now. So look for that email, and then when you click on it, it'll come up with this page here. This is known as the dashboard. Okay, so you're at the dashboard and you want to go into the part design workbench. This allows us to create a brand new part. Typically we create a sketch and then extrude the sketch into a solid. To access this, you'll have to hit 3D on the compass. So the blue circle on the top is known as the compass, and this here is the workbench. So again, where it says 3D, you can turn that on or off. Here's your part design. You click on that, a blue box will appear letting you know it's entering into part design. What it probably won't let you know is down below is it's secretly working on something, and it's going to come up with an error message. So you come over here, watch your background, so it's going to pop up behind. For some reason it doesn't come up on top, so you got to watch what's going on below here. And when this graphics card driver comes up, just say okay. 99% of the time that's going to work fine. And then here's the blue box that will come up, and then you're going to get a choice to hit new session or restore. The restore allows me to recall whatever it is I was last working on. So whatever I was doing yesterday, I don't have to remember what it was, what I had called up. As soon as I hit restore, it's just going to bring up whatever I was working on, versus a new session is going to bring up a blank screen. So when it's going to take a few minutes to actually get in there, so you're just going to have to be patient and let it do its thing. Under new session, again, you'll have a nice blank screen. If this is your first time logging onto CATIA, you won't have the restore option. It's just going to go right into the system and load up CATIA. But from there on, whatever work you do and you want to go home or it logs off on you, it remembers whatever it was you were doing last. So normally you don't have to worry too much about losing your stuff, because all you have to do is hit restore and it will bring it back. Now if you don't hit restore, that's going to be another story. Alright, so it's very slow, as you can see, to try and come in and open up this model. On occasions you're going to get hot fixes that you have to do, or every 6 weeks it seems that they're updating the system and we have to uninstall CATIA and then reinstall it, which is kind of a painful process, which you may have already discovered if you've loaded CATIA on your own personal work site. It's still thinking. It just finally came up. It's still thinking it's not there. This should be over here in the left corner. Now it's there. I have student name already filled in because this is a previous exercise I was working on. So to start a new model, I simply hit the plus button over here and it opens a blank tab. So you have a bunch of tabs along the top. This is a new tab I just opened up. I'm going to hit the compass again and hit 3D and go into part design. So again, I have to repeat the step, but this is actually in the CATIA work environment versus the dashboard. So I'm going to select that, and you should have a part body. The geometrical set should be underlined. The reason why it's underlined is telling me it's the in-work object, and that's where it's working right now. Under axis, you should have an absolute axis. And then you should have the ability to rename this and then rename this. If your specification tree does not look correct, again, it's due to the key preferences not being set up correctly. Okay, so see if I can find the number one thing that causes this not to show up. We're going to hit under our initials. Mine is purple with DP, that's my initials, and I'm going to select preferences. And under preferences, you're going to go to the common preference tab, and I believe it's under parameter measure, and under, oh no, yeah, parameters. These two must be turned on. That's a big key to make sure those are on. And then also under general, was it? I don't remember offhand. I know it's somewhere in those key preferences. We have to have, oh, it is under parameters. Under parameters, no, again, make sure those two are turned on. Your measurements, make sure this says CATIA, that's a key thing. And under units, make sure you change everything to imperial standards that we're going to be using, which is all the top ones. See, all these are set to pounds and inches. And you make sure the display's turned on, and this is set to 4 for each one. When you got to click on each one to make sure they're all set to 4, they're all set to 3 by default. Under 3D shape, object properties, 3D shape, under infrastructure, want to make sure this is turned on. Keep with links, and that you have create an access system, geometrical set turned on, and this one disabled, so it should look all just like that. You can always pause this video to make sure everything looks the same as mine. Okay, so those are some of the key highlights with your preferences. For some reason, it's not the default. If you don't set your default like mine, you're not going to get the same results as I'm going through the demo. Okay, I'm just going to say okay. Make sure to say okay to keep all those changes that you made. If you want to feel better about it, you can hit apply and then say okay. And then what we're going to do right now is you're going to rename the properties. So we right click to turn on the contextual menu. The contextual menu, fourth one down, has properties. And under the tab graphic, no, sorry. Under the tab reference up here, we're going to change that name to the student name in all caps. And I'm going to use underscore because we have no spaces in here. Anything we type in, because if it has a space, the CATIA stops reading the name of them. So make sure to name that your name, first and last name, and go to properties. And then we're going to rename this here. In the page, you'll see that we're going to open a new part design application, which we've done, and then we're going to name the sketch, name the model Sketerworkbench demo. So that's what we're going to use for the name. I'll highlight that. All right. In order to continue, you should have this Sketerworkbench demo name, your name here, an absolute axis, and the geometrical set underline. Which, by the way, if it didn't come in like this, already, there's no fixing this. You have to set the parameters and then hit the plus button and you go to 3D and open yet another part body. So if it came in wrong, oh, see, I just turned it off. See how it came in wrong? I can't believe I did that. If it looks like this, oh no, I got it right. If it looks like this, everything's good on your preferences. And then you can continue on with naming like I did. Uh, Also, when you close them all, make sure to hit no so you're not saving a whole bunch of stuff you don't want, especially if there's nothing in there. All right, so I've got a geometrical set underline and the part body. This is what it should look like right now, and we'll go on to the next video after this.